Hey guys, this is SS Belmont. I'd like to take a moment to thank my sponsors for the 2019 season, Power Drone, Tattoo, RunCam, and also my team, Quad Racing Rivals. I look forward to a great 2020 season. Thank you all for supporting me. Today I'm going to talk to you about my first impressions with the Orqa goggles. So many of my teammates have been asking me to share details with them, so I decided I would roll this into a video to keep it short and simple. First, let's talk about what stands out to me. The fit and finish are amazing. They're much nicer than any Fat Shark that I've ever owned. The position of the components, the buttons, and the adjustment knobs are very well thought out. The surface finish is very nice in the hands, and the unit just feels of high quality. It was also nicely packed. It came with insert cards with links to manuals. And there are two types of face fittings that were provided. One is foam, and the other type of face fitting is your traditional Fat Shark type fitting material. Also, the user interface for the DVR and the general settings are well designed and easy to use. The power button can be programmed and how it turns on and off through the general settings menu, and the rapid fire integration is amazing. The image clarity is exceptional compared to my HDOs. I'm able to see lines that I could not see very well with my HDOs. More on this later. I'll share a DVR clip with you. There's a particular tree section in my front yard that I'd have issues with spotting the proper line because it would be very dark in that area. Well, with these goggles, I can clearly see that area, very well defined. It allows me to hit that section at speed, which is very, very important for anyone that races drones. Also, the video reception seems to be better, but I think that this might be a result of the image being crisp and clear compared to the HDOs. I have no other way to determine why that might be the case, but that's my assumption. Also, the IPD adjustment is much finer than my HDOs, which is great for me because I have a very narrow eye width. And one of the key standouts for me is the fact that the date time can be set in a general settings section on the goggles. This is not possible with the Fat Shark goggle. And what this means for me is that when I'm recording DVR footage, the footage actually is properly time-stamped with the date and time, which allows me to go back and quickly get to the DVR footage that I would like to review. With Fat Shark, they use some sort of random thing, and to be brutally honest, it's a royal pain. Also, the DVR quality is amazing. I'll share that later in the segment here with you. But honestly, Fat Sharks can't compare. Maybe the HDO2s are able to. I don't know, and honestly, I don't really care. I'm not looking back at this point because these goggles, I'm very impressed with them, and so far I'm amazed with them. Okay, so what could be better about these goggles? And I'll be brutally honest with you guys, there's not much, but I did want to try and find things that I think could be better for me, at least, or for a majority of the public. So let's talk about the foam for a second. The foam that is shipped with the product is the traditional Fat Shark foam type of insert, the anti-sweat type of insert that you commonly see with the Fat Shark goggle, but they also include a newbie type drone foam, which is really nice. The only caveat is that that foam is thinner than the newbie drone style foam. Now, Fat Sharks never shipped a foam insert like this, so that's a plus one in my opinion over Fat Shark anyway. But for me, I prefer the thicker newbie drone foam. It's just always worked better for me, so I'm using that on the Orqas. And although it is designed for the Fat Shark goggles, it works well on the Orqas as well. So I wish that in the future maybe they could increase the thickness of the foam that they include when they ship the product. So there is one minor thing that occurred when using the product. This is not a showstopper for anyone, but I do want to call it out. It's very minor. So what I did was I removed my SD card from my Fat Sharks and simply plugged it in to the Orqa module, went out and hit record, and recorded some footage, and then I hit record again to stop the footage, and the video would not stop recording. So I powered down the unit, and I powered the unit back up, and I formatted the SD card, and that problem went away. So evidently you need to format the SD card using the DVR interface. I'm not sure why that is the case, but I in fact had to do that. I wanted to be transparent with you and be as honest as I can to help you make a good decision in your purchase here. But so far, these are the only things and only feedback that I could provide that would make this better for me or others. Maybe there are other things. I personally cannot think of anything else. I'm super pleased with these goggles, and I think you would be as well. Another thing that I do want to point out, which was very annoying to me with the Fat Shark goggles, is how hard it is to insert and to remove the SD card. Well, Orqa has nicely designed slots so it's easy to insert and remove your SD card. No more requirement for a knife, a pen, or whatever you may need to insert or remove your SD card. It's a minor thing, but it's a nice little addition. Let me show you what I mean by how easy it is to insert and remove the SD card on the Orqas. So take a look at this image I have highlighted with the red circle and an arrow. As you can see how they created the little slots there for the SD card. This allows you to easily insert and remove it without using any type of apparatus, a knife, a pen, or whatever. On the Fat Shark goggles, everyone has a royal pain inserting and removing those SD cards because it's just so tight. This is just a nice little finish to allow you to have easy access to your SD card. Okay, let's take a look at some raw DVR footage recorded in my front yard. I want to point out that it's been raining for the past 4 days, so this footage was captured with it being cloudy and overcast. I mean, there was no blue skies at all. And what I'm going to point out in this video is there's a section of trees that I would have trouble with visibility on my HDOs when it would be beautiful skies outside. So this is a testimony of how well and the clarity of the video is when you have low light conditions. I'm just blown away by this. I'm really looking forward to racing with these goggles. So let's check it out. So I took my 4-inch out for a quick spin. The battery that I'm using is a 1300 mAh pack, so it's extremely heavy for this quad. So there's a little prop wash in some of the turns. If you notice that, it's because the pack I'm using is way oversized here. But what I want to point out is that you can see the clarity specifically in this section right here. In my HDOs on a sunny day, the visibility right through here, the shadows, it's just hard to make out a clear line through that section right there. But as you can see, I can take it at fairly reasonable speed. I think I could even take it at full throttle if I practice just a little through there, no problem. But what's amazing is that when I go back through that section, I can see. And that's super, super important when you're a racer. Take one more look at that DVR clip again. So there does appear to be one frame dropped. I think it was right before I just made that comment. But other than that, the DVR is exceptional. Again, just pay special attention to the clarity and how crisp the image is in the areas which typically would be a lot of shadows and very dark and hard for me to spot, specifically right here. Just crystal clear, right? Like I'm able to hit these spots no problem. You know, so for me, this is what I was looking for in a new set of goggles. Very clear, crisp, easy to see, which would hopefully translate to faster times on the race course. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you found this video to be useful and it helps you in your purchase in the future. I hope you all have a great 2020. See you on the race course.